Hello everyone, a brand new edition of Kick-Ons, building on the unbelievable success of last week. Led by our man in Kane Corns, who absolutely tipped the lights out. K-Mac's been an unbelievable addition. And JJ, tall, handsome,
got a lift.
Average last week.
He's got a lift.
Kano, you're on fire.
I was. Sam Walsh, 6+ clearances. The over-unders we'll get to shortly. My Bulldogs got it done. My
Dan
premiership
Houston.
tip looking really good. Dan Houston went crazy. So a good start, but you're only as good as your next week, as we know.
Well, K-Mac, you've been an unbelievable glow-up for us.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, yes. Obviously, I speak for myself.
Well, that's what you have to do on this show, don't you, JJ?
That's right. And I'm pretty sure Gold Coast won by 1,000, which was the bet of the weekend. But anyway, we'll move right along.
Yeah, clearly, because over and unders, you were totally... The way I look at it is you dominated because maybe you've overestimated Naz, but the rest of it you got spot on.
Early lead because our man went under, and it was a disaster from the start. What was he thinking? He was only about 13 out with Nick Dacos, our man Josh Jenkins.
Didn't know Ross the boss was going to let him run free.
We'll get to
MCG.
Ross shortly because he is absolutely in the crosshairs. But nice start from you, K-Mac. 50%'s
Yeah, 50%
pretty good.
we'll go with that.
Actually, no, you're better than that.
No, I like to lure them into a false sense of security. They think they've got it all sewn up and I'll just come home with a wet sail and win in the end.
Follow us on the feed, check it all out, and also all of our various feed. Kano is up to 13,000, which is quite cute.
Wow.
He's starting to build.
I actually overestimated. I just checked. I'm still at 12. So if you could just give me a bit of a push on.
Well, Parko's the man because he's the internet sensation that we've been communicating with. He's been getting all around us. He loves the show. Doesn't necessarily love your highlights, JJ. Didn't get around you personally.
Did we send him some?
No, we've sent him a whole lot of his highlights.
What's happened?
He didn't promote any of them.
Radio silence.
Correct.
I think you said a Wi-Fi issue. I'm not sure.
Now, on kick-ons, let's get stuck into Brisbane up at Sydney, though. So the defending champs, big task.
Big task came out. They got some big outs.
Yeah,
no Harris Andrews, no Hugh McCluggage and Gardner.
Yeah, well, the three All-Australians to start with from last year are all out. Zach Bailey on top of the two, so McCluggage with his calf and Harris Andrews. But they're going to be really undermanned in the back line. Darcy Gardner also suspended. So if Andrews is ever not out or he wants to play the spare, Darcy Gardner takes the best forward and then Andrews gets to do what he wants. But they also don't have Jack Payne, remember, from that knee injury he had last year. Still hasn't come back from that. Three of their best key defenders are done.
Starcevich got traded.
Yep, you'd want to be looking at Sydney forwards. We know how potent they were last week as well.
And also Heaney forward. So last year, 2 games last year, both inside a kick. Heaney went big. He had 46 and kicked 7 in the 2 games. So without the Lions having defenders, I mean, Ryan Lester's probably the best matchup for Curnow. He's pretty good on those guys who are a little bit taller. He's played on Jeremy Cameron a bit. So therefore, I think Lester's also the best matchup for Heaney. So I'm sending Heaney forward as well. So they haven't got cover for both guys.
So this is Curnow. He didn't do a whole lot, to be honest, but he did come into it late. But this is all he's going to have to do. I think their forward line is still a bit of a work in progress. Amadi, Logan McDonald was awful early. Could not catch the footy, but looked better late. But they've got forward options. Papley looks sharp. You speak about Heaney. They got Roses Jr. there now running a mark, so they have so many options. And Chad Warner and Gould actually spent a little bit of time forward, particularly early as well. So he just has so many weapons. This Sydney group have had a massive pre-season. They're fit, they're rock hard, they're powerful. They look ready to go. I just can't see a world where he doesn't have a big day, and you can see the market's there for 4+ goals if you like that with no matchup. But Sydney are just going to get off to this season in a flyer, and I just think they win and they win easily.
Yeah, I totally agree. But also, the other forwards get an opportunity because so much focus goes on to Charlie. So
we saw Amadi benefit from that. I
he'll
think
be a perfect
the biggest
example.
one to benefit from it because he's always been a key position forward number 2.
Yeah.
And now he's actually got a number 1 with him. And that was incredibly dynamic. It's said a little bit about Carlton too. Let's not just think it's all about Sydney. This is a game though, every single time we doubted Brisbane last year, they responded and they played a great game. Now, it might be a few too many soldiers down, but I think Levi Ashcroft gets some inside mid-time. Rayner only went to 7 centre bounces last week. So some other players who are good, Kate, are going to get some chances.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the story of Brisbane's season. For me, last year, it looked like this. They turn up when it matters. And for the games that are sort of a little bit 50-50, Last year we saw them draw with North, things like that. They're big game players now. I know it's not the way you want to play your season, but I feel like the whole season it's going to be a very similar trajectory. When there's a game where they must win, they'll turn up and get it done. When it's 50-50 or they're heavily favoured, they'll play poor, maybe get the win or maybe be upset. So
I actually look at it from a peaking point of view. They'll peak back end of the season. They'll be vulnerable early on in the year.
They were good last week. They were really good. Like my man Charlie Cameron, who I know we're going to get to, kicks probably the easiest goal of the night. It's a different conversation. Speaking of my man, they played, what's the song he played? Who is it? John
Country
Denver.
Roads,
Is it John Denver?
Yep.
Not a great music man, I must say. Music and movies, not my go. 4 goals. So
Never watched Shawshank
He's too busy
Redemption.
punting.
Incredible.
Kane wanted him gone, and he says, look at that, stick that up your Kane. 4 goals in the grand final, 3 in Origin, which was, everyone chipped in there, but he was very good. He looked incredibly dynamic last week, so he might be in for a big season.
He'll get the Wicks matchup, so he's their new lockdown defender.
He's got Wicks covered. Charlie's record against Sydney is quite poor. Cunningham's often done the job on him, so he gets an opportunity.
Let's go to a fast track. It'll be a fast one under the roof at Marvel. Fast deck, super footy. Bulldogs versus GWS. Let's get it on because we don't get along.
No, and the Giants were enormous. Did not see that coming with the outs that they had. The package going crazy. That was just a really good win. Clayton Oliver did his job, but that'll be it for the Giants because this week they're going to get sorted out by the Western Bulldogs. On Marvel are almost the most dangerous team in the comp. They play 13 games at Marvel. I think they win probably 12 of those this year. With no Sam Taylor back there, a good opportunity for Sam Darcy to go crazy. And I've told you about the weapons they've got, which now means Marcus Bontempelli can rest forward when the game's on the line late. I mean,
You've told us about it. We wouldn't have known.
We've heard you, mate.
He went to 3 centre bounces out of 11 in the last quarter, and they just left him there. It was good coaching from my man Bevo, but they've just got Ed Richards stepping up and so many weapons.
But this is what we've been trying to tell you. They're going to be this team when their role players stand up. And it wasn't about the stars. So Davidson kicked a goal in the last quarter. West kicked a goal in the last quarter. Bramble had 7. Fraser 8. Baylor Williams 10. And Butterick, the new player, had 10. It was about their role players.
But look at this
in the last quarter.
And now he can go forward 71%
and have no impact in the game in the last quarter.
He kicked a big goal.
He kicked a goal.
Well, that's handy. A big goal at a crunch time is very handy.
Especially because the margin at the end.
You have doubted this list for so long, and then every time they win, and then they'll lose, and you'll say, I told you their list is no good.
On to you.
They just beat the back-to-back premiers at home.
We know what you're doing. You're building them up. You're trying to set up my man Bevo for a fail.
It has been the biggest wasted 6 years at that football club with this list you've ever seen. I'm hoping now they've sorted out their defensive issues so this list can go to work like they did.
Have they sorted out their defensive issues? Because they did.
You speak to your man.
Concede a big score. They conceded a big score on the weekend. So yes, they get the job done and they win, but they concede 106. If they concede 106, Kate. Yeah. 7 or 8 or 9 times this year, they'll lose most of those games.
Yeah, the only thing that's in their favour is their ability to score so heavily. But we all saw in tight matches, you don't score over 100 points. So if you're giving your opponent anywhere near that, there's no way you can run them down. But Richo, we got a popcorn machine around here because I think I just need some between these two. That was very entertaining. Sit back, let the boys play.
He got physical on me. He's giving me the lean forward.
He did lean forward. You've got a lot of strengths. I wouldn't go toe to toe with a physical one against that.
He's got me.
Pick your mark, big boy. What about Jake Stringer, K-Mac? First up from a spell and in a contract year.
That's all you have to say. Contract year, Jake Stringer. He turned up in much better condition this year, but when he does that, when he's running and jumping at the footy, in times where he's not fit, he's not leading, he's calling the ball in long. He has the ability we saw on Saturday to get up the ground, then to get back to the goal square. And the thing that he has always been very good at is finishing off in front of goal, and he did that on the weekend. And I think for the amount of time that we saw Marcus Bontempelli's numbers forward, we saw what Jake Stringer does on the weekend. He's actually a bigger price to kick 2+ than the Bont, which is something that you've absolutely got to take. I know that's marginal, but that's surprising considering one guy kicks so many.
I checked, so against the Dogs, of course he's played for Essendon as well, his numbers are awful I thought he might have been sub a couple of times because the numbers are so poor. So when he's played against his old team, the Dogs, he's 2-7 straight up in 9 games, averages 10 disposals and has kicked only 7 goals. So he has not fronted once against the old team. So maybe that's why we're giving you an opportunity.
What about research boy over here?
No.
Are you feeling uncomfortable? He's getting in your lane.
He had to hit the books after the week he had last week. He's been studying hard.
When you write stuff down, you don't just stare at a blank iPad. There's actually good stuff on here.
That's so disappointing. Listen,
disappointing.
Oh, that is so disappointing. I've only got one thing in my life, and that's Richo's Roughies. That's all I've got. I've got the one little lane, and now suddenly K-Mac's jumping into my lane with some bolter thing that you're bringing up.
A bolter's different than a roughie, isn't
Oh,
it, Richo?
hang on, it's the half brother or the half sister.
Splitting hairs.
Well, I'm going to take Matt Kennedy it's the same player multi-bolter, which I'm going to start doing most weeks. If Lockie Neal could tackle, we would have got that up last week, but don't worry about tackling, Lockie, you're all good, just get 38.
He had the ball.
Yeah, he had too much of the footy.
Had to tackle himself.
Matt Kennedy, 4 clearances, 23 plus disposals, 6 plus tackles. He attended the third most CBAs last week for the Bulldogs. Tim English, Ed Richards just in front of him. If you're going to attend 23 centre bounce attendances, you think he's going to tick most of those off with the role that he plays for the Dogs. So I like him as the bolter for this one, Richo.
Bolter, I think you're a zero short of $3.50. That's no bolter area.
We just want winners, Jace.
Thank you, my mistake.
We can't eat the overs, mate.
I always get concerned when he calls me Jace. Collingwood versus Adelaide. Who wants to grab this?
I'll have this because he's probably going to put the slows on my Crows. I'm really surprised at the head-to-head market here. I think Adelaide, now, opening round, I think it's 8-4 in favour of the teams who have played a game, so clearly there's an advantage to the teams who have played a game. Adelaide, a few outs, Rankin's a big out. But I wasn't that impressed by what I saw with Collingwood last week. Yes, they took 140 marks, and yes, they found a way to win the game. They lost a lot of the key stats, and if you listen to Ross the Boss on equity stats and expected scores, they should have won the game. But I like Adelaide, even the plus 5.5 there. I think they're ready to rock and roll.
Let's find out if Adelaide are a serious football team. No. Can you go to the MCG where you don't play that well? I can't remember the last time they beat Collingwood at the MCG. It's certainly been a while.
They've played them close.
Despite being in good
They're
positions
your dropper for the whole year, aren't they?
They are, because last year they were very healthy. Their draw was easy. And yes, they performed well in the home and away seasons. This year, there's injuries already and the draw is going to be more difficult. You just got to rock up and win this game of footy. I think they will. I'm with you. I think they have more weapons than what Collingwood have. But are they a serious footy team? Well, we're about to find out.
Well, someone that was a serious player in that game was Nick Dacos, but only ranked number 18 on the ground if we're looking at some of the rankings. So that's incredible, isn't it, for what he got?
We need to put champion data on those.
Well, hang on. Something's broken with their system. He was unbelievable.
He was responsible for the 4 best kicks in the whole game, single-handedly. So I just don't understand.
I don't think they have an algorithm for that.
The metric system.
What goes to him, JJ? You know this Adelaide side better than most.
Peatling would be the main, and Peatling's done a good job. Kept him under 33. They played each other 3 times last year, 24, 29 and 28. So he did a good job on him. Peatling's a bit of under an injury cloud, whether he can get up or not. Maybe Michael Annie, they love him. He's probably got the physical tools as well, because at the moment, Nick's just getting on these runs, these long runs, and I know you can run, but I tell you what, you'd be puffing chasing around Nick Dacos.
He's something else.
We're going to put you on notice. You are not allowed to talk about 3 tall forwards for Adelaide for the entire year.
Okay.
You're not allowed to, because you're going to bash them up, aren't you?
Well, the evidence is there that it doesn't work. So Matthew Nicks,
they finished top of the ladder.
Matthew Nicks cannot sit down with a club legend in Taylor Walker and have a hard conversation with him and say, look, you've been great, Tex, but we are a better side when you are not in the side. But he's not strong enough to do that. So if that's all you want me to say, that's all I'll say.
Tex out. So I probably don't disagree at this point.
Thank you.
Based on what we saw,
we've been arguing about it for 12 months, and now you're with me.
Based on what we saw in the finals, I think it's horses.
That was
for
easy.
Horses. The only thing I'd like to dispute you on is Walker played better than Fogarty when it mattered last year.
But Fogarty's the future. So you're
is he? That's the question.
They signed him for 7 years, so you make your bed, lie in it. Well, you can't sign a guy for 7 years.
Well, they signed me for 5. They didn't stick with it.
We're going to
So why they're going to stick with him for 7.
Well, so that's their problem. Either trade him out at the end of the year if he's not the answer, but you've signed him for 7. He's supposed to be the future of the forward line with Thilthorpe. Let's see if it works.
Tell you what he does do though, he juices up the odds of the other 2 forwards, doesn't he? If you can if you can work out the balance when you're sort of looking at these games and you think, right, which one of the 3 is going to kick multiple goals? Who can I get on? Usually, if you get it right, you get really nice juicy odds. We see Taylor Walker there. I think the other 2 obviously have more of an impact in this game, but I don't mind Tex for an anytime goal
Great
in this
finisher.
one to add it to your multi.
Doesn't need much of a chance.
Anytime
Thilthorpe's
goal.
the one though. He's the game breaker. Well, the other 2, we're not sure about where they're at. Thilthorpe's the one who can take this game away from Collingwood.
And I've just announced a 7-year deal on kick-ons, which is
Good on you,
awesome.
Richo.
Thank you. I'll bring you with me. Who's on notice?
Well,
Everyone so far.
Yeah.
good players
hello.
bounce back from poor performances. Now, I would hope that good coaches also bounce back from horrifically poor performances. And I haven't seen Ross Lyon coach this poorly in a long, long time against Collingwood. That was the difference in the game. He didn't tag Nick Dacos, we know that. He allowed Collingwood to take 147 marks. They sagged back. He kicked 66 points again. There it is. He cannot score. Thought he left Nasiah forward far too long and out of the action. He was too slow to react there. He had a terrible night. So Ross against a like-for-like team in Melbourne, these are almost worth 8 points, these games. You're going to have to bounce back and bounce back strongly. And he needs to prove that he can score. Because once again, that's the issue that has clouded his coaching for a decade, and it's one that he hasn't been able to solve.
5 games of opening round, we saw some of the biggest attacking masterclasses that we saw in all the other games. Yes, some of them were blowouts, but every single team found a way to score, but also defend to some extent. It wasn't dour. It wasn't like what we saw on Sunday night. And that's the Ross effect on a game. And I just don't know if that coaching is sustainable with the rule changes, with what we've seen. If you can only score 66 points, you're going to have a lot of trouble winning games of football this season.
Yep. Let's give him a chance against Melbourne and see.
You're jumping on. He's on notice.
Let's give him an opportunity. They left a lot of opportunities out there, so we'll see what they do against the D's.
It was round 0. You've said to our traders, I'm going to take over the line. You want to rewrite the line.
No, well, they were a bit slow to the party this week, so rewriting a couple of lines.
No one gets a whack.
Gold Coast should be 100-point favourites against West Coast. As if they're interested and invested in the game, and they were last year in the West, they should win that game by 100 points based on what we've seen from West Coast in the pre-season and how damaging Gold Coast are. And North Melbourne, a lot of chat about the off-field stuff. Front up, Port Adelaide not expected to be world beaters, so I've rewritten that line. North should be favourites. You're getting $2.95 for them to win by a kick and a half.
Awesome stuff. Grab your pen. Over and unders on the other side. You're watching Kick-Ons. Welcome back to Kick-Ons. A lot of footy shows out there, but none making money like you 3 are making for our audience. Over Under is a segment everyone loves. Let me throw up Josh Rochelle as the first of our Over Under. The line is 17.5 possessions.
Didn't work out well for me, my theory last week, so I won't share it. Rochelle, I think, without ranking, I think Rochelle gets to about 10 or 12 centre bounces. I think they might roll Dawson forward, particularly if he gets tagged by Perryman. So I'll take Rochelle over.
Yeah, I'm going over as well for that same line of thinking, no Rankin, but I am a bit 50-50 on this one. I'm not sure. We don't know what he's going to play this year, but let's back him in this week.
Very difficult. I'm not sure how many times in his career he's gone over 18 disposals, so I went under, but not with a whole lot of confidence. See how it goes.
Okay, he might make his way out then if he's not going to get... Give him a chance. What about Jordan Dawson?
Yeah, Dawson also, now, because we've now seen Perryman, I'm worried about what Dawson does. So, he's a fascinating one for me. I'm going to take him on. I think they'll roll him forward. I think when you know that Perryman can do the job, why not go back to it? So I'll take him on.
Yeah, I think under. I think he goes under this one because of that exact reason too. Sorry to just echo you, JJ, but I think Perryman goes straight to him.
He's a fraction on notice for me this year, Jordan Dawson.
What?
Just a fraction. I don't think he's impacting games like he has done 12 months ago. I think he's going to go large in this one and make a big statement as the skipper of this Adelaide Footy Club to suggest that they're an actual serious footy team.
So you're suggesting another segment for you, not only on notice, but also fraction on notice.
Fractionally on notice.
Wow. What about my man Isaac Heaney? There's a lot of men around, isn't there? Isaac Heaney, I love.
How can you not? He was a bit quiet last week, very quiet in the first half last week, got rolling. I referenced earlier his numbers against Brisbane. I'll say he's over. I think he plays midfield and gets the job done.
Yeah, over. He gets going in this one, gets a lot of the footy and has a big impact in this game.
3 from 3, he goes over.
Okay, Will Ashcroft, 28.5 is a huge line.
It is 31 last time against the Swans, no Hugh McCluggage, so he's going to play high minutes and he is going to rack up the footy.
He is going to go over.
It's the new midfield, like 30's the new 25 back in the early 2000s, so most good midfielders can get themselves a good 30. He'll do that this
What about
week.
his brother? He could steal a few off him.
Yeah, his brother's got some work to do, particularly on his disposal, so I'm not sold yet on Levi.
We don't care on this show what you do with it. We just care that you get it.
There it is.
So, combinations, permutations, we've added them all up and you've all got $12.96.
Wow, and only the top two are going to decide the week, really. So, Rochelle's really going to decide the week. So, can't wait to come back next week and hopefully I've just made a little bit of an indent in the margin.
You need to lift. You need to pull your socks up. I can assure you, though, the ones that you got at the moment are very high up with your tracky pants. Who's Kane?
Oh, fair income. Look, I know our man's busy and he's here and there and he's on the plane from Adelaide to Melbourne and whatnot. But I try and consume as much of his content as possible. Have a listen to this nonsense.
Hewland and the Hewland brothers, yeah, they might be the best current brothers playing right now already.
Well, they might not as well. Because the Dacos boys, for a start, might be the best set of brothers since the Corns brothers. And you should know about brothers. Fair income.
Ashcroft
The other brothers, Ashcroft nearly got more than Hewland brothers combined.
At the numbers. Now, I absolutely love Bodie Hewland.
Yeah.
And I love Zeke the Freak. Don't be giving Jagger the rising star. I'm just telling you now, Zeke the Freak is going to be in this contest.
Don't forget Leo either. He played well.
Yeah.
I just meant to say
income.
could be, not it shouldn't have been as definitive. Look,
You're on notice, mate.
When that was recorded, it was about 11:45 p.m. at night. I'd just flown back from Sydney. No excuses, but...
I'm out there anyway.
They sound like
It's been a long day,
And also, what was that? Are you on a podcast in
Friday
addition?
nights, AFL.com.au, sponsored by Sportsbet. Check it out.
Leave them alone, Richo.
Wow, love that. It's my favourite show. I'm available if selected. Hope you're enjoying kick-ons. Backed by public demand is the Richo Roughie after last week, promising a lot and delivering very little. But that's the reality of it. It's a big price. Check out this week and it's going to go huge. Once again, have a look at those followers. Get around me. Geelong at the line versus Freo. Sydney at the line versus Brisbane. Collingwood at the line against Adelaide because my man Kane says they're going to slide. And North Melbourne at the line against Port. Multi them all up.
So
$13.
This is Richo's footy tips, is it?
Yeah. I need to enter a footy tip comp, but hey, just concentrate on the $13.
Any Richo's Roughies winners in the Gallops or not?
The Gallop's coming up. No, not this week. You've got a couple of players that you want to concentrate on and tell our traders something.
Yes, well, early in the season, you can get these players that sort of start to have good starts to the season and then the algorithm hasn't quite caught up yet. And two of those are playing in this game for Hawthorn. If you have a look, Essendon and the Saints, yes, practice match, Windhager 41, Sinclair 39. Look at last week, Hawks, Newcombe 28, Sicily 23. The prices have not caught up to that. So my leg of the weekend multi is Sicily 23 plus, and it is some really juicy odds there.
Ooh, let's have a look at the multi. That's how you chickadee check it out. I like to look at $29 Sicily. I'm going Aaron Norton to kick 3 plus.
Will power for me.
Ben King to kick 5 against West Coast.
Wow, if you don't mind.
You kick 4 against them.
That's saying something. Hope you enjoyed kick-ons. See you next week.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.